Hey, good evening. Happy Tuesday. Thanks for joining me. Meteorologist Scott Pilier here with your Tuesday evening Atlantic Tropics outlook and discussion. This is my first time on YouTube Live, so we're giving this a go. If you have any questions or comments while we're breaking all of this down, I do have the comments and the questions enabled in the live chat. So if you're new to my page, subscribe to my channel. I'm going to try to do a whole lot more of these this Atlantic hurricane season. Also, I'm going to go share this link to my Facebook page. Sound looks like it's working on my end. Let me know if the sound is working for you. I would appreciate your feedback, as always. Elisa Norton is here. Hey. Marguerite says hello. Hey to you. Daniel B says welcome back again. Awesome. Okay, so we've got 10 people watching. That's good. I'm glad that it's working because I was nervous that it wasn't going to work because this is my first time using the YouTube Live feature. So let's go share this onto my Facebook page and we'll get a few more people watching and then we will talk about the tropics. So you can see in the video behind me, I've got an animation playing of the infrared satellite in the Bay of Campeche as we speak. Big blow up of convection tonight right over the Yucatan Peninsula, which is some evidence that wind shear is starting to lower just a tad over this tropical disturbance in the southern Gulf of Mexico. And I think with time, as we go towards the day tomorrow, and especially by Thursday, we're going to start to see somewhat of a broad kind of elliptical low pressure system develop and begin to lift towards the north. More on that here in just a moment. Let's see. Share that onto our Facebook page so we are good to go. Awesome. Ben says he can hear. What's up, Ben? Daniel says coming through loud and clear. Brittany said, hey, it sounds good. Vanessa is here. Hey, Vanessa. And Elisa says it's better quality than Facebook. Awesome. Okay, perfect. So let's go ahead and talk tropics now and kind of break this all down. Latest update from the National Hurricane Center, their 8 p.m. Eastern Time outlook just came out. And we can show you this, and I'll kind of drop this map behind you and kind of show you that, again, we had bill that formed over parts of the open Atlantic, and that now means that our next named storm on the list would be Claudette. So that would be the C-named storm way earlier than is common for the third named storm of the season. So waving goodbye to Bill, this system now moving into the far open Atlantic. You can see it south of Newfoundland and Nova Scotia, moving towards the fish. Hanging out with the fish in the open Atlantic, no threat to the continental United States. You may have seen my post yesterday as well about a brief tropical wave that was very vigorous when it rolled off the continent of Africa. That is now located over the far eastern Atlantic, and it is unlikely that this is going to develop in any formidable fashion because we have what is known as the SAL, or the Saharan air layer, that is kind of dominating a large chunk of the eastern Atlantic. That's normal for this time of year. That Saharan dust is likely going to hamper any development with this tropical wave, so we are not worried about that Invest 94L in the far eastern Atlantic. The system that we're going to spend most of our time talking about is this one. This is Invest 92L that is located in the Bay of Campeche. Invest 92L now has an 80% chance of developing into a tropical depression or tropical storm within the next 3 to 5 days. So again, 80% chance, high probability that we see a system develop. Now, the key with this is that with this setup that we've got in place, it does appear that this is going to play a role in our forecast here locally along the northern Gulf Coast as the steering pattern favors a track towards the north. Key with this being, though, with an early season tropical weather threat, usually the first thing that comes to mind is heavy rainfall potential. And you betcha, that's exactly what we're talking about. The potential with this system is for heavy rainfall. Now, there could be some wind and there could be some coastal flooding associated with this tropical system, but I think primarily along and east of where the center of this system comes on shore, the big threat is going to be for heavy rainfall from parts of Louisiana to Mississippi, Alabama, and even into the Florida Panhandle. Let's go talk about the disturbance tonight. And I want to show you the latest infrared satellite. It's a pretty interesting satellite depiction because you look at this and you say, whoa, look at this big blob of thunderstorms located over the Yucatan Peninsula. Well, that's not where the center is located at all. In fact, if there was a center, it may have actually gone inland over coastal parts of Mexico near Veracruz and Tampico. The center kind of wobbled inland throughout the day today, and now we're kind of just left with a broad area of rotation. Notice the clouds up here arcing towards the north and west. Down here, you see the clouds going from north to south, and then you kind of got this broad area of rotation that is starting to develop here, and pressures are starting to lower in this region of the Bay of Campeche. So I think with time, through the day tomorrow, we'll start to see a little bit more thunderstorm action developing in this part of the Gulf of Mexico as wind shear starts to lower a tad. Now, for some of you that are watching right now, you're probably saying, Scott, is there wind shear and dry air in place to kind of hamper this from developing or intensifying? And yes, the answer is definitely yes. How do we know that? Well, looking at the satellite image from earlier today, I want to draw your attention to a couple of things that are pretty interesting when you can see them in real time. Notice throughout the day today, you see these storms right here as they pop up, and then you see how these wispy clouds kind of race out towards the south and east away from those cloud tops. That indicates that we've got some strong north to northwesterly wind shear that is inhibiting these storms from becoming towers or very tall in the atmosphere. As they develop that wind shear, as these storms kind of try to develop over here, the northwesterly wind shear kind of pushing over those thunderstorms, kind of tearing them apart, not really allowing them to fire up very much. So I think throughout this system's lifetime, even if we start to get kind of some congealing and coalescing of a broad area of low pressure here tomorrow, it's going to be dealing with some dry air, certainly, and some wind shear on its western side throughout its lifetime as it moves to the north. However, look at this system. I'll take this graphic off for a moment so you can kind of see. There's a lot of moisture associated with this disturbance. So notice all of these kind of brighter shadings of white. This tropical moisture is going to be lifting northward towards the Gulf Coast, regardless of whether this becomes a tropical depression or a tropical storm. The moisture is going to be the bigger story. And you can see the latest outlook from the Weather Prediction Center that shows anywhere from 5 to 8 plus inches of rain possible for parts of coastal southeast Louisiana and towards southern Alabama and southern Mississippi over the next 5 days or so. Key with this being, though, is that, again, it's largely dependent on the track and the speed that this system ends up taking. If we again see the system take a more westerly track, we may see those rainfall totals expand a little bit further out west. If we see the system trek a little bit further towards the east, that would take the heaviest rain away from southeast Louisiana. Either way you paint it, this does not look to be a big worry with regards to wind, but certainly it is something that we're going to continue to watch for the heavy rainfall threat starting on Friday. Time frame for you. We'll talk about this briefly, and then I'll let you guys go here on this Tuesday evening. Time frame for you. This is Friday morning, according to the GFS forecast model. You can see we've got big kind of broad, I guess I should say, spiraling weak low pressure system with much of the thunderstorm action east of the center. This again is 6 a.m. on Friday morning. You've got the rain starting to move into coastal parts of southeast Louisiana on Friday, 6 to 7 a.m. That rain will begin to push inland as we go throughout the day Friday, and I'll advance this for you. Friday midday into Friday evening, notice those heavier shadings of red, low pressure system still down here into Friday evening with an eventual track towards western Louisiana. Again, this model has been all over the place. It has a solution today like this. Last night it was like this. European model is kind of like this. So there's still a wide array of solutions in terms of where we think the landfall is going to be with this. But the primary concern looks to be some minor coastal flooding with that onshore flow on the coastline. And bottom line is the heavy rainfall threat for someone. Someone will likely end up seeing anywhere from 5 to 10 inches of rain, maybe even some localized higher amounts with this. But the key is going to be exactly where the heaviest rain sets up. You can see the area that I've outlined here in black. That shows areas like Houma, New Orleans, Slidell, Bay St. Louis, Waveland, 7 to 8 inches of rain. That could definitely cause some flash flooding if it all fell at one time. But if it comes in waves, it's not going to be all that bad. We can handle a good deal of rain. We just can't handle 5 to 8 inches of rain in a span of 3 to 6 hours. So have a heads up game plan ready to go in terms of the heavy rainfall. I wouldn't have any outdoor plans scheduled for late Friday afternoon, Friday evening, and into Saturday with that heavy rainfall threat as this kind of swoops on in and moves out by Sunday and into Monday. But again, we'll continue to keep you updated. I'll have a whole lot more updates coming up the next couple of days. As always, subscribe to my YouTube channel and make sure to leave your comments and questions in the video below, and I will try to get back to them as soon as possible. I'm going to leave about a minute or so to wrap up this video, and if y'all have questions, you can leave them in the video right now, and I'll try to answer a couple of them while we've still got people live and watching the video. Hey, Chad, what's going on? Thank you, buddy. You're welcome. Let's see. Daniel says, scare it away, Scott. Don't let it come north, please. Holly Ann, hey to you. Good to hear from you. So any more questions from all of you? I'll show you one more time the current loop. The system is not organizing in any quick fashion. Still a long way to go before we ever see this get classified as a depression or tropical storm. I do think eventually it will become a tropical storm, more than likely a weak to moderate tropical storm by the time it gets in this region of the Gulf of Mexico. Wind shear may let up enough to allow this intensify. And I've been saying the past couple of days, wouldn't surprise me to see this get between 40 to 60 miles per hour as it moves northward. But again, rain is going to be the primary risk as it moves north, not the wind speeds with this one. All right, y'all, have a great rest of your Tuesday. If there's no questions right now, you can always reach out to me, meteorologist Scott Pillier on Facebook, also on Instagram, ScottPillier_WX, and on TikTok and YouTube, of course, as well. Have a great rest of your night. Bye, y'all. Talk to you soon.